Hey guys, time to update you on my first week of keto. Really, actually, to be fair, I think it's been about 10 days that I've been pairing a ketogenic diet with alternate day fasting. And let me tell you, it's doing some gruesome work to the fat storage on my body. So I got to tell you about it. It's been exciting. First thing I'll say is, here's the thing. I'm just going to run down the things that I've noticed and encountered here in this first experience with keto. This is the first time in my life that I've ever gone without carbs. Probably since I was an infant with Nestle formula in my mouth. I've never gone through a time when I didn't have carbs, and so this is a first. So I didn't know what to expect. Here's the things I've discovered. The first thing is, when you are eating fat, you get full quickly and you do not want to eat for a while afterwards. And I mean 6, 7, 8 hours sometimes between my first meal of the day and when I'm ready to eat again. I'll go ahead and show you my breakfast. This is just from this morning. So as you can see, I had bulletproof coffee. I had this hog jowl bacon that is like, I don't know what the fat content is. It's got to be 50% fat at least. I mean, it is so fattening. And I just throw that in a skillet, a few ounces of that stuff, crisp it up, dump some eggs in there, scramble it all up, and eat it with hot sauce. So that was my breakfast. And you can look right there at the top of the screen and see the calories, just because all I've had is breakfast. So you see how many calories I've had. Huge amount of calories. It's about 10 o'clock that I eat that, and I guarantee you I will not want to eat again until probably 5, until about dinner time. So the foods are very filling. They are, now typically I'll eat later in the day, a little bit lighter. So that's when I'm really trying to pump some vegetables in. I'm really trying to get some, nice raw green vegetables, some fruit like avocado, and just kind of go a little easier on it. I eat my big meal, and actually I try to do this all the time. I try to eat a big meal in the morning and just let that carry me through the day. So that's what it is. Look at the top there. You'll see that in my FitnessPal, my target calories is like 2760 or 2670 or something like that. That's not really my target. The reason that's set that way, that's my maintenance, basically, okay? For my current weight and activity level, that's the amount of calories that I would need every day just to maintain my current weight. When you throw, my FitnessPal will not allow you to throw alternate day fasting into your computations. It's one of the downfalls of my FitnessPal, because if you come in under a certain number of calories on my FitnessPal, it will say, "Oh my God, you're gonna die, man. You're anorexic. You're not eating enough food." And it flips out. So you can't trust my FitnessPal's computations. If you're alternate day fasting, if you're not eating every single day, then you need to make allowance. So my actual calorie goal for an eating day is somewhere between 3,300 and 3,700 calories, depending on whether I exercise that day. Because when you exercise, obviously you gain more net calories that you could eat. So it's a higher target because I'm only eating every other day, which you guys know. The only reason, and I still am not counting calories, I don't care about the calorie count really, even on keto. The only reason that I'm putting this information and logging my food in my FitnessPal is because I want to know my macros, which are now right here on this side of the screen. You can see my macros, and this is just from breakfast. You can see my goals there on the lower right hand corner. And what will happen is throughout the day, I'll bring that fat down. I eat a lot of fat early in the day, and that'll come down somewhat. The carbs will probably come up a little bit to about 5 or 6%, and the protein will come up as well. So those are my macros that I'm shooting for. Traditional keto type macros, somewhere between 70 and 80% fat. It's a lot of fat you eat on this diet. A lot of good natural fat. Some other things I've noticed, I don't have a crash after I eat. Well, the whole time I was eating carbs throughout my entire life, It was like if I ate a big meal, it was just like whether it was cereal or whatever it was. If you eat a big meal, eat a lot of sugar, you want to crash, you want to go to sleep about an hour afterwards. And that's not happening with keto. Even after this huge breakfast that I ate at 10 o'clock, I feel great. I have tons of stable energy. There's just not the crash that comes when you eat carbs. So like I don't need, I don't get a slump or anything after lunch. If I eat lunch, I don't get a slump or anything like that. So in a way, it's made me more productive. It's made me able to stay on my feet and just keep going. There's absolutely one thing I'll say about keto is it just absolutely kills your cravings. Carbs spike your cravings. They induce cravings. The more sugar you eat, you never get to a point where you say, okay, I'm satisfied. I don't want any more sugar. It just doesn't happen. You can always eat another cookie. You can always eat another potato chip. I could always eat another slice of pizza. But when you're doing keto, the last little fork of that bacon and egg mixture that I ate this morning was like this. I should have probably just given it to the dogs and been merciful because they circle like vultures. But you just do not want any more. You cannot overeat on keto. I don't know how it's possible because you just are satisfied. You can only eat so much fat before you're gonna hoik it. You're gonna barf. So I know I'm not overeating. And even though the calorie count in a lot of this food is higher and it's fat and everything like that, there's only so much you can eat. And like I say, you ain't going to snack because you're not going to be hungry for 7 or 8 hours. 6 at the least. So that's been good. No cravings. I have not craved fruit. I thought I would miss fruit. I thought I would miss sweets, things like that. It's really just not happening, you guys. I ordered some erythritol, which is a low glycemic natural sugar substitute, and I don't even want it. Like I just don't crave sweets. So that's something I didn't expect, but I'll tell you, keto kills cravings. I'm sleeping better on keto than I was when I was a carb eater and a sugar burner. Even on fast nights, it used to be on fasting nights, people all the time ask me, do you have trouble sleeping on your fasting days? And yes, I have had, depending on how you define trouble, you just need less sleep is what I would say. You need less sleep when you're fasting. But on keto, even on my fasting nights, I've been sleeping great. I've been sleeping uninterrupted, no like restlessness or anything like that. And it's really been great sleep, I've noticed. Another thing I've noticed, and I'm spending more time in the kitchen on my eating days. And the reason for that is I'm having to cook my own food, okay? Because anything that is, and that's traditionally, I would just eat whatever my wife, whatever my kids were eating for dinner, whatever was available, that's what I would eat. Well, now I'm having to both shop for myself and cook for myself. And because anything that comes out of a package or is prepared by someone else, including fast food, is something that I just really can't trust because I don't know how much sugar is in it, how many carbs are in it. It can't be tracked. So I'm cooking a lot more. And then the secondary part of that is that when I'm cooking, boy, everybody just comes out of the woodwork and is like, Dad, what are you making? Dad, can I have some of that? And so that's been fun. I made a fathead pizza in the last week, first time ever. You guys know, if you've watched the channel for a while, my opposition to keto was, well, what about pizza? How am I going to live without pizza? Because for me, pizza is a micronutrient. It's got to be like 5% of my diet or I'll die. And I was just like, there's no way I can live without pizza. So I made this fathead crust. Fathead crust is mostly mozzarella cheese, almond flour, and eggs. And so everyone had to try that pizza that I made. Tasted great. It was fresh. It was better than anything you can get in a store because it's homemade, and so it was really good. Shout out to Keto Mad, the user on YouTube, Keto Mad, because Keto Mad blew my freaking mind when he said about pizza, why do you need a crust? He blew my mind. He or she, I don't actually know. because I was just like, well, I didn't even know that was a thing. You can just throw the cheese in a skillet or in the microwave, put your toppings on it, dump toppings on it, and eat the best part of the pizza without the crust. What are you going to miss? I was like, what? So I tried that too. Really awesome idea. Saves a lot of time because I don't have to make a crust. So thank you, Keto Med. But I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying cooking and preparing my own food. No hunger at all to speak of on fast days or on eating days, obviously. And I've been checking myself with urine strips to see if I'm in ketosis, to see if I'm still in fat burning mode for the past 10 days. Absolutely nothing has knocked me out of ketosis. It took about 3 days for me to get into ketosis from when I started. And again, I'm doing alternate day fasting and pairing it with keto. So I probably got into it pretty quick, especially since I've done fasting for 6 months and had just done a 10-day extended fast. You know, my body's probably not totally foreign to being fat adapted and switching over. I got into ketosis very quickly, and I just used the urine strips. I know they're not the most effective thing. Steve, you need to get a glucose, prick yourself and squeeze the blood out and check it that way if you want accurate. Here's the thing, dear. I don't care about what state or level of ketosis I'm in. I really have no interest in knowing that. To me, it's either an on or an off. It's like a switch to me. I'm either burning sugar, glucose, glycogen, or I'm burning fat. I'm not really concerned about the state of ketosis. So when I check with those urine strips, I'm not checking to see if they turn dark or if they're light, if they show a light state of ketosis or anything like that. If I'm in ketosis, I'm in ketosis. All that little stick is measuring is whether I'm actually using those ketones or not. That's all they're measuring. So, and because whatever you don't use, you eliminate. It goes out into the toilet. So, and nothing's knocked me out, including an entire cup of heavy whipping cream, which I made chocolate ice cream with one evening. I only intended to eat half the bowl, but I ate the whole thing. And I thought, oh man, I've just screwed myself. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm not going to be in ketosis. Didn't happen. So wow. Live and learn. You can eat a whole cup of heavy whipping cream and not be knocked out of ketosis. So that's been kind of cool. I will show you as I come here to my weight. That's what everyone cares about is weight loss. I'll show you my fasting schedule here in the last week, just so you can see that in the last few days. I think since the 10th or so. And you can see that my fasts are averaging about 36 hours, maybe a little more, maybe 37, 38 hours. And so a lot of times what I'll do when I wake up in the morning, I'll have some bulletproof coffee, some keto coffee. It's more accurate to call it keto coffee, fatty coffee, which I really don't count as breaking my fast. I'll do an absolute fast till 36 hours, and then I'll usually have my keto coffee, and I'll just keep the clock running. So anything above 36 hours is probably after I've had some bulletproof coffee. Bulletproof coffee or keto coffee does not knock you out of ketosis. It doesn't have any effect at all on your insulin. It doesn't spike insulin, so I really don't count it as breaking the fast until I eat food. Once I eat food, then I break the fast. But you can see I'm still doing a buttload of fasting every other day, definitely more than 24 hours, which is what I need to do in order to correct my insulin resistance. And that's why all this is happening, because I'm trying to correct not just my obesity, but the cause of the obesity. So, in terms of my weight, I've lost 6 pounds in the last 10 days, just a little over 6 pounds. I know some of that is water weight, because after I did my extended fast, I ate pretty much whatever I wanted for about 10 days, and then I started keto. And it hasn't been as hard as I thought it would be. The weight, even after a feeding day, I've still lost weight. So keto seems to drop the water a little better than when I ate carbs. What was typical for me after eating carbs, after a feeding day where I ate carbs, including ice cream and beer and pizza and all that stuff, is that I would gain about 3 or 4 pounds overnight. That's what was normal, 3 or 4 pounds of water weight, and you know that's water retention. And that's not happening on keto. If anything, it's more like between 1 and 2 pounds. But some days it's either flat or I've lost weight. So that's crazy when you're eating to capacity and you're filling your stomach with foods that are very rich and dense, and yet you're still losing weight. So it's been very cool. Hope this gives you guys an idea of what I've gone through. If you guys have any questions or have any ideas for something you'd like to see on the channel, hit me up in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, follow the journey, and eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we fast. See you next time.